Airline Manager 4 questions and answers. I'm going to read some of the questions that people have posted in my Airline Manager 4 discussion forum, which is located at cheapbooks.cc in the Airline Manager 4 forum. And I'm going to answer them for you. I apologize if I don't read them fast enough. So the first question is about capital routes. Hi, I see that I can unlock the capital routes feature for 350 points. What exactly does this feature do? Is it worth spending 350 points? The answer is no, it's not worth 350 points. What it does is when you use the suggestion tool, the capital routes feature will suggest capital cities. And the reason why is because there's an assumption that a capital city has higher demand, which might not be true. Capital city might be Paris, France, Rome, Italy, London, UK, etc. It's better to pick your own routes, and I highly recommend using the text menu, which is on the left. It's difficult to use, and it takes a bit of practice, but you'll end up getting better routes. So I don't recommend using it, even if you're going to be tempted to do it early on. Use the points for something else. Route saturation. How to know if a certain route is saturated? Is there a way easier than manually locating the route compared to capacity? Is there a way to spot all aircraft assigned to one route? The answer is no. What you have to do right now is you have to go to the hubs, and the route is in the hubs. You go to the hub, like Dubai, and you look at the airline code, because one airline code is going to be, one airport code is going to be Dubai, and the other one is going to be the destination. And you look to see if there's more than one destination. Sometimes I run two planes to the same airport, one flying first class passengers, one flying coach. And it's a pain to do it, and sometimes I have done it wrong. You got to go back and fix it. And it's like he says, you might notice that there's a problem with the capacity to the demand, and that's how you know that you routed wrong. So the other thing that I do is if I'm booking a lot of routes, I write them down on a piece of paper, because I might have 15 or 20 routes I'm booking all at the same time. Just write them all down. Profit from departing 30 planes. So you used to be able to do 30 planes, and the best I got was 104 million. And then they switched it to 20, and with 20, I've gotten 85,600,000. I did it October 28th, and I posted it immediately. The way you do it is you want to get a lot of first-class passengers. And notice I have lots of coach passengers. If I can get them into first class, then I will make more money, and the same with the J class. And with the heavy load and the large load, I believe the large load pays more money, but it's going to be difficult to get a route with just large load. Does catering impact airline reputation? I added catering to about 20 hubs, 20,000 servings for 1 week, and departed some flights. I checked my reputation before and after, no change. So I don't think catering impacts airline reputation. It's possible. I only did it one departation. I didn't do it like every day for a week. And I did not notice any change. Do A checks and maintenance impact reputation? The answer is yes. So I did all the repairs for everything over 10% wear. I did all the A checks. Everything. I mean, we're talking positive 150 hours. I did all those A checks. Planes that did not need it. I checked reputation before and after, and it changed by 1%. It was very expensive, which means it's more than the return on the investment. So what I did was I did all the repairs, I did all the A checks for every plane whether it needed it or not, and then I waited like 6 hours and I checked the reputation before and after. And I even saved the screenshot, and it did go up by 1%. So it's a small change. How does demand work? So first I was confused about demand, but now I understand how it works. If this is a route, OMDB is Dubai, going to French Polynesia, and it says 275, that means that it's for the route, round trip. It's not, you don't have one demand going one way and a different demand going one way. It's combined together. Going from Dubai to Polynesia and Polynesia back to Dubai totals up 275 passengers. So if you use 200 going one way, you only get 75 going back. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. If you leave Dubai with 275 passengers, you'll get 0 when you try to make your return trip. So it's not the way the real world is. It's not the demand for where you take off from, and it's not the demand where you arrive, and it's not really split. It's the total that you get, and it's a game sacrifice that they had to make. So again, if you're going to make this trip, you want to cut it in half, which would be 138 people, and you'd have 138 going one way, 138 going the other way, and then this will drop down to 0. And with this, it's easy. You're talking about 18. You'd have 18 going one way, and it would bring it. You would subtract 18. It would bring it down to 19. And then you'd have 18 going the other way, and it would drop it down to 1. And it's the same with the heavy load and the large load. So when you configure your airplanes, you're going to take your aircraft on that route, you're going to take the demand, cut it in half, starting with F class and then J class and then Y class. And then you're never going to get 100% reputation, so you can increase the number a little bit. But if you were to put 275 and it fills up 275 on the way out, you get 0 on the way back. It's sad that that's the way it works. It doesn't make sense, but that is the way it works. So here's an example where you can see I put half. I got 17 out of 31 because 16 plus 16 is 32, and 112 times 2 is 224. I kicked it up a little bit, but you can see on this one, 493, half of that is 250, and I got 343. That's way too high. So those numbers are wrong, and they need to be fixed. What it means is that this plane cannot fly on this route because it won't have enough passengers. The capacity of the plane is too high. It will drop everything down to 0, and it won't be flying to full capacity. I do have a video explaining how it works. So you can go to cheapbooks.cc, look for Airline Manager 4 in the video game section. It is a discussion forum. I do read posts and I respond to everybody. I'll answer any questions that you have. I also own cheapbooks.com, which is a book listing website. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.